Elon Musk is a lightning rod, one in which his own investors have sued him on multiple occasions. Despite this though, he is set to be the world's first trillionaire because of the SpaceX IPO. But I have read through the documents and there are some things that you might want to know before you click buy. The question is for you though, is this something that you want to add to your portfolio? If so, how much? And is this something that is a generational opportunity for you to build wealth like Tesla shares were? Or is this a long walk off of a short cliff? Strap in, get your notes. This is going to be one heck of a ride. Let's go ahead and break it down. All of this entire thing starts with Tesla. This is going to be one incredible ride. All of this entire thing starts with Tesla. Elon Musk, in the way that you know of him now, wouldn't exist without the success of Tesla. Now, Tesla started in the early 2000s, went public in 2010, June of 2010. Say what you want about Elon, but he has made his investors a ton of money since that IPO, and you cannot take away the fact that through his leadership and the fact that he is the head of the company, he has made electric vehicles a thing. Now, he did not invent them. He is not the first person to ever, engineer and create the electric vehicle. However, without Tesla, without Elon Musk, we would not have electric vehicles in the United States or the world in the way that we do without the success of Tesla. The blueprint that he had is why we have Rivian, is why Mercedes-Benz and Ford and all these other companies, they're using everything they have based on, hey, Tesla was successful at doing it, let's now try it. They have paved the way, and that is because of Tesla's success. That success rode all the way up until the point where Tesla in 2020 was so valuable that it was worth more than Ford, GM, and Toyota. And let me remind you, the company was founded in the early 2000s. Ford has been around for more than 100 years. So you're telling me that a car company that's been around for less than 30 years was worth more than Ford that's been around more than 100 years. That is how much value Elon created just through electric vehicles. He became a celebrity CEO, and in 2020, and I have an old video of when Tesla was first profitable. They had not been profitable their entire lives, right, until 2020, which is a requirement for you to be inside of the S&P 500. That is when they made it to the S&P 500. That is when I considered investing in Tesla, and when I first bought shares of Tesla. You had to be profitable for at least 4 consecutive quarters, an entire year, to be inside the S&P 500. And then things really started to take off from there. Tesla became so successful that they were worth more than Ford, GM, and Toyota. But get this, if Tesla was founded in the early 2000s, how is it that that car company in less than 20 years or so was more valuable than Ford that was around for more than 100 years? That fact alone is why Elon Musk was seen as a celebrity CEO. Everything that he touched became gold. That fact alone is why people were so excited about Elon Musk and why they wanted him to be around everything when it came to business, finance, the stock market, so on and so forth. Also, what happened in 2020? Yes, other than the pandemic, Tesla was profitable for the first time ever, and that is when they were added to the S&P 500. You know what else happened in 2020? That's what I actually did a video about when Tesla had a profit for the first full year ever, and they were added into the S&P 500. And when I said, all right, look, I am finally going to put money into Tesla shares. All of that made Elon even more powerful, and that is when his wealth started to pick up and when he started to take the helm as the world's wealthiest person over Jeff Bezos. This is the context that we are walking into, but it is also the context in which things started to change. Right around 2020, going into 2021 and 2022, you know what happened. All of that money started to, for lack of a better term, started to go to his head. But also we know what happened after that, going from 2020 to 2021 and 2022. He then took a lot of those gains and then bought Twitter and named it X for $44 billion. And then going into the election, he took a lot of that power and influence and helped to elect the president, and then went into Doge. All of that stuff then started to tank shares of Tesla. That also helped international sales to fall off both in China and parts of Europe. And then even people in the US didn't like Tesla in the way that they used to. We've seen protests, we've seen a whole bunch of other stuff based on his actions alone. It got so bad that shareholders at Tesla called him back from his government position back to the office at Tesla to get back to doing his 9 to 5. And that is what brings us back to SpaceX. But how? Well, remember, when he bought Twitter, he renamed it X. He merged X, the social platform, with this company XAI, which is technically Grok or whatever it is you want to call it. He merged those two companies. And then SpaceX, which is also a part of Starlink, he merged all of those together. When you dig into the financial statements, you will see that all of those companies are together, and it is the AI division, which also owns X, is the biggest loser of the company. That is why this company is unprofitable. Starlink, that piece of the division, that's a good business. It makes good money. If that were the only piece of the company, it would be fine. However, as you have one company that eats up another, and you're folding it all in, that piece is a concern. But the biggest concern is this. Notice what I had said earlier. As Elon went through all of these side quests, it was the investors. The investors of Tesla had to call him back from the White House to come and do his day job. And then you saw from the stock charts and the videos that we have done here, as he got further and further away from what he was supposed to be doing at Tesla, the shares started to fall. Investors were losing money. And again, there was a lawsuit. Then he got back, the shares started to pick up again. Where Elon goes, the stock price does follow. But there is a provision within Tesla's documents that you may not have taken the time to look at. I am someone who did, because I am a financial planner that helps you build confidence, clarity, and momentum. You can book a call with me at buildingbread.com/callkev. That's the only commercial of the entire video. All right, so the thing is this. He owns or has voting control of 30% at Tesla. That's it. 30% of the voting shares, or the voting power rather, that's it. So you, the shareholder, gets to vote. I get to vote. You own shares of Tesla. You get to vote on pay packages, voting members, if they ever do a dividend, all that stuff. But he gets 30% of it, which means that we, shareholders, if I still own shares, I gotta go and check, we get a vote in it, but we can outrule whatever it is he wants to do. And we can call him back in the office to tell him to do what he's supposed to be doing. We get to do that. SpaceX is not the case. There are two class shares, and this is relatively common. It happens at Meta, it happens at Google. We've talked about that. If you go to Google, you'll see GOOG, and then there's one called GOOGL. Two different share classes, and they have two different types of voting rights. Well, at SpaceX, he retains 85% of voting control. You will not be able to outvote this man regardless of what happens. The problem is, at this point, when you are worth $1 trillion, what type of side quests can he or will he be doing with your money as an investor? Not as a, well, what if he does this and what if he does that? We have seen this. We have seen this in the last 2 to 3 years of the level of side quests that he does and what has happened to the companies that he has run. We have seen what happened to X and the quality, X/Twitter. We have seen the quality of what happened to that website and how Threads has taken off because of how he ran Twitter into the ground, and it has not done well. We have seen his efforts at Doge absolutely fall apart. He has admitted to himself that, hey, this was not an effort that worked. The government even took on more debt because of it. We have seen how the government said, hey, we had to rehire a lot of people and all types of lawsuits and things because of it, and it did not work. We have seen this over and over and over again. Now, your retort could be, well, he's been running this company for several years. SpaceX has been around since 2002, 2003, one of those 2 years, and that part of the company has been fine. It's not like these things are brand new. That part is true. The question is this, however, because he is bringing in a loss, a key loss loser, right? In bringing in X, bringing in his AI division, which at ChatGPT isn't working just yet. We'll see what happens with Anthropic, two companies that are going public. Are those two things being brought in going to weigh down the space division and the Starlink division to a point where it's going to drag down the financials of the rest of the company? Is this a shell game where you're just folding in companies to cover the losses for other investors? Is this a fancy pyramid scheme? Is that what is happening here? Those are the cons, but there are some pros if you are an investor. One of these, and I'm not exactly sure how in the world he pulled this off, but it is a brilliant move if you are a fan of this camp, is the fact that they have changed the rules on some indexes to buy shares of SpaceX, or rather get it included into the index, which forces these index funds to buy shares of SpaceX. And these are trillions and trillions of dollars of funds that are going to be forced to buy. And just like my thought was, if you put SpaceX into the S&P 500, oh, I'm with it, because Fidelity and BlackRock and everybody else got to buy it. I'm riding that wave, and it absolutely made money from there to now. Well, the S&P 500 is one index that said, no, we are not changing our rules to add SpaceX. SpaceX is going to be forced to be profitable for at least a year, but NASDAQ, and I think it's the NASDAQ 100, the 100 largest tech stocks in the US, and a few other ones, after about 15 days or so, everybody has their own, cooling off period. It's going to be added there, and that could be an extra added boost to ride the stock out. And there is a decent chance to see this stock do well, at least in the short term. So we're going to see. Here's the thing I want you to know as an individual investor. Elon Musk is a celebrity CEO. He is a meme CEO. And even though I've explained to you all the ups and downs, and the positives and the negatives, all right, so we have covered the range here. I don't know if the numbers matter when it comes to Elon. Rather. I'm not sure if it does. That is the thing that I won't say concerns me, because it ain't got to be my money. I can sit on the side and mind my own business, right? But that is the part that it is hard to quantify. Because for so long, there was a point in time where Tesla was consistently losing money. You say 2017, 2018. They were not nearly as big as a Ford, yet the stock was up 300% and didn't make any sense then. You talk to astrophysicists now, and they say there is no math in the world that you can send a full data center into space, and we are not going to have 1 million people on Mars. Is that going to matter once this stock is public and he can go out and tweet stuff and people are still going to buy just because it is Elon? In a world where the president can put out tweets and stocks like Dell or Micron or even a meme coin can take off, does it matter if the company is solid or not? That is the question that I can't answer with logic and analysis. It is a little concerning. It's a little concerning because if I can't answer it, it's not something I can replicate, right? I can find one stock, this one, maybe Tesla if I want to do that, but I can't build a full portfolio by doing that. Should you buy it? And so how much? It is difficult to avoid the FOMO. That's the fear of missing out. It is difficult to do that. And if you put in, I think it was 10,000, I'll put the exact tweet here. I also have an email at buildingbrand.com/news where I broke down this entire case. But it is, I think it was $10,000 from the IPO June 2010 to like last week, 2026. you would have had well over $1 million, things like $2 million. 10,000 left alone, over $2 million today. With the same type of person with all this craziness, though the voting power is different, the company is different, is $1,000 or so worth it? Is $5,000 or $6,000 in a lotto ticket in this case, because with him and knowing this type of company, is that chance worth it? It's hard to pass up. It is very hard to pass up. So here's my professional opinion, not my professional advice, my professional opinion. If you do, I would follow the 5% rule. In that, I would not go more than 5% of your overall portfolio, and I would proffer to have a 10-year outlook on this. I know most people don't do that, but that 10 years is extremely important. So remember, the first few years, and I'll put a chart here, that first 10 years of Tesla didn't make any money. Now, I don't know, SpaceX might be different, right? He already owns Twitter at this point. He's already a celebrity CEO at this point. He's already the world's wealthiest man at this point. You know, it might take off from day one and do who knows what from this point forward. So there's that, right? This environment in 2026 is different than what it was in 2010. So there's that. But there's also risk, right? He has beef with the president. We'll see where that goes. In either case, though, every IPO doesn't take off from the very beginning and takes off like crazy. Meta didn't do that. It's great today, but it didn't start off that way. Snapchat ain't doing well as of today, right? Uber has had its ups and downs. We all say if you invested in, you know, whatever company and held it from the IPO to now, like I said with Tesla, that doesn't help if you sold in the first 6 months and you lost money, or you sold in the first 2 days because you made 10%. I think it might make sense. If you do it, you had better be locked in for whatever ride comes. If it's going to be that generational money, you're gonna have to hold on for whatever craziness might be around the corner. And it very well might be some craziness around the corner. So be ready for that. I'm not a fan. I'm not general fan of IPOs in general. Y'all have known this if you watch this channel. And I'm gonna leave it at that. Whether I'm a fan of Elon Musk or not, that's more my personal opinion and not one for the channel. You are here for my thoughts on the stock market. That's what you're here for. So those are my thoughts on the SpaceX IPO. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you want to know more about the stock market, the economy, and everything in between, you can check out these videos right here.